What's up guys, and welcome to Void of Dust Gaming, your channel for fresh Arena of Valor content. Today I've got a new old guide for you, a beginner's guide focusing on Butterfly the Assassin that I have done a couple of months, or I would rather say years ago, and I wanted to update it for the current meta. She has the reputation to be more sorts of a new champion. That comes from the fact that her combo is actually quite easy to pull off. No crazy shenanigans, it's just plain button mashing, and you need to get the right order, but if you can just make this work, she's going to be a really overpowered hero. And I've got a gameplay for you where I scored over 20 kills, so I think we've got enough proof to show how good she is, especially in the lower ranks. I was playing a ranked game in the Platinum section, so we've got a lot to talk about. And I want to start off with a first glimpse on her abilities, and we're going to make it quite quick if that is possible. So as you can see, damage output is not the highest, but I think that is not true if you build the right items on her. So let's have a quick chat and see what we are talking about if we are playing Butterfly. So her passive is Assassinate. She gains 2 stacks and gets this little mark from killing heroes, 1 stack of assisting, and 3 stacks the next skill used will not have any cooldown time. That means if you can pull the combo off and kill things while doing, you will even get better chances on killing multiple enemies, because the skills are getting no cooldown time at all. So that just means that you can apply them more often. So really handy passive that she is bringing to the board, and that's going to mix well with a little cooldown that she has on all of her spells or abilities. First ability is a swing around her, dealing physical damage, so that's some sort of area. You're going to do that around you, dealing physical damage, and this is going to stack with the items that you build, so we are focusing on attack damage, so that comes in quite handy. And she also gains a shield, so this is actually quite nice for following up, because you also get a speed buff, but that shield is going to prevent incoming damage. It's not huge, but it's something, and she has just received that with some of the last updates. She didn't have that before, but it makes her a lot stronger, and I think that is something that is just the icing on the cake that just makes her this great jungler that she is currently in the game. Her second ability is an ability where you're going to kind of like throw your sword in front of you, dealing damage, as you can see, and the first enemy hit takes additional damage and is also slowed. So this is actually really nice, because you can speed yourself up with the first ability, slow enemies with your second ability, so you've got all the tools that you need for following up enemies that have already been hit. And if you're hitting enemies, it will also increase her attack speed and also enhance her crit chances by 10% for crazy 4 seconds. So this is going to be huge, and the attack speed also helps you in the clearing of the jungle, because that's what it's all about, to go through the jungle as fast as possible. And as you can see, if you max this ability, you will end up with 60% more attack speed coming just from this little nice ability without having built any items so far. Your ultimate is your ganking tool. You are jumping towards a specific target that you can choose by just indicating it. It's going to be marked. You're going to deal additional true damage against that, and you're marking them for 3 seconds. After the mark wears off, Butterfly restores HP, so you get HP back while you are fighting. And if you are killing something with that, I think you are going to get that on no cooldown again. If the target dies, it will immediately reset her ultimate cooldown. So yes, this is what we're talking about. So we have a jungler who is quite mobile, can slow down heroes, get crazy amounts of cooldown reduction on her spells, like immediate cooldown reduction, and this just means that you can hop onto a target, kill it, hop onto another target, kill it, hop onto another target. And in the upcoming video that I've got for you in the gameplay, you will see that we will get a lot of double even triple kills, and that is just because this setup, all these tools that she has, is making her so damn good. And I think the gameplay really shows what this hero is all about. So let's talk about the equipment. As the next point of the video, it's going to be straight damage in the middle of this, so you're going with Omniums because it's just a really well-rounded item. We're going with Muramasa to deal with the tanks. We're going to finish it up with Fenrir's Tooth just for this extra damage against low health targets. I like to build Leviathan just to get a little bit more tankiness into this build. Otherwise, if you feel quite comfortable with it, you can go with Soul Reaver instead. I like to build the Gilded Greaves because you're a melee champion, so that means that you're going to fight toe to toe with most of the enemies, and therefore all the slows and stuff are just going to hinder you, and therefore you want to have the cooldown reduction or this crowd control reduction as high as possible. And the last item, of course, is Blade of Eternity, because it just means if you fail on an attempt wiping the whole entire enemy team, this is going to be another possibility to get the kills that you have needed. So this is the build, and I think it's really well rounded, and it just complements all the skills that we were talking about at the beginning of the video in the very best way. In the Arcana section, I'm going with attack damage, physical armor penetration, and some movement speed. That comes from 10 times Berserker, that's a new name for it. Attack damage and some penetration. We're going with Assassinate, attack damage and movement speed, and we're going with Dragoon, attack damage and physical armor penetration. This really helps out at the beginning of the game, but you're going to profit from it later onwards in the game as well. Enchantment wise, I decided to go with the Burning Grudge. This is something hitting enemies, it's just going to improve your damage capabilities even more. Then we're going with Taste of Blood, which was devoured before. Kills or assists restore HP and mana. This helps you to get the chain going, so if you have killed an enemy, you're getting health back, you can get the next enemy, get health back, get the next enemy, and so on and so forth. Ghostly Claw is going to get you some attack damage right from the start when you hit the battlefield. Acts of Sacrifice, even more damage, and then we've got Holy Verdict, even more damage. And this is basically the whole setup, and how this is going to be executed is part of the gameplay that you're going to see next. Be prepared for it. It's actually been super crazy. It's a massacre. I haven't done more than 20 kills in ages, so this is something where I was really proud of myself. On the one hand, I mean, the enemies were not that crazily good. We were playing a platinum ranked match, so that might be one of the reasons, but still, you need to pull it off, and I did, and I think it just shows how easy Butterfly can be played in lower ranks. If you like this kind of content, thumbs up, always appreciated. If you don't want to miss any of my videos and all the guides that I throw out at the moment, hit the subscription button and then the notifications bell as well, because then it just means that you will be updated by YouTube every single time I upload a new video, and you're not going to miss any of my content. If you've got anything to contribute, comment section below this video is totally open, so just put your thoughts down, put your prayers down, and what you are going to talk about is actually quite important to me as well. So yes, this is it. Let's start with the gameplay, shall we? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go with the gameplay, following up to what all the things I said about the skills and stuff. It's theory, but you really need to see how it works in game, and therefore I think this gameplay is a good showcase on how powerful Butterfly can be if the enemies do not really pay attention to their positioning at all. First of all, as we're playing in the jungle, the talent that is your talent of choice is obviously Punish. It's just going to help you with the jungle clearing speed, getting you a little bit more damage against the jungle minions here, or the jungle creeps. And in terms of the combos, I like to start off with my first ability, because with my second ability, because it's the one that grants you additional attack speed. That means you're going to clear it a little bit faster, and then afterwards I'm going to level my first ability. So I think that is the combo sequence. First, second, and there you go. You can also start to build A5 with your first ability and then hit the second button, but I always like to go with ultimate, second ability, first ability, and then we're going to follow up with everything that we still got in our arsenal. And this is going to be the stuff that you need for ganking. So this is the first gank. We've got both Natalia and Crixie chilling out in the middle. I don't know what they were thinking, because now they are closing in. I was just waiting for this very moment, and here we go. First ability, as I said, second ability, first ability, and then follow up. And now we're jumping towards her, using all of our abilities. Don't know what Valor is doing here. I think he was just chilling around. Sometimes I even had the feeling that we were playing against bots, but I don't know if that is true for ranked matches, if that's actually happening. But I don't want to put myself above other players, but it was kind of easy to play against them. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just going to show you how the combo works again and again. So here's Natalia again. I'm chilling in my bush, and ability, we're jumping in, and now I want to pull back, because otherwise I'm going to struggle in the tower. This is not going to be of any use. I used the speed buff from my first ability, and now this is another kill for me on the Crixie. I think she went in the completely wrong direction, and because Zenith, the jungler, is not there, I just said to myself, let's just get some jungle stacks here and some blue buff, because that's something that helps us with getting our cooldowns even lower than before. And as they're fighting at the top lane, you can see that Zenith and Telenas are fighting there. I thought it would just be a really good time to get the second objective in terms of the bigger monsters, which is the Darkslayer, and that should be done with ease, because they're still hanging around there. No one is paying attention to us, and we now got the Slayer and updated another item, or upgraded another item. Crixie is trying to get away here, but she doesn't stand a single chance. Her damage is not really afflicting me. I changed the build now so that Omni-Arms is the second item that we're going to build after we got the boots, as well as our upgraded jungle item, the Leviathan. And now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the map. So we're looking for actual plays. If there is something that we can do, or we can assist people, we're going to do that. Otherwise we're going to farm in the jungle, and that's basically the mixture. So Omega is fighting against Zenith. Not really having the hardest time, but I think that really saved him here. Otherwise we would not know how this went. And now we go in for this one, and this Valheim. I don't know what Valheim was thinking. Positioning was just, it was just so bad with the enemies. I don't even think that they kind of grasp the full potential of Butterfly and how dangerous she is. And as you can see, it's 5 minutes in, we already have 7 kills, and this is just the beginning. We're going to triple them. And what you should never ever do, even if you are in the greatest killing spree, you should not defocus what your task is. So one of your tasks is to free up lanes and push the minions into the towers. That's one important thing. Second important thing is to get objectives, and what you always should do is get into your jungle and make sure that you farm the jungle on the one hand, and get stacks by killing the minions in the jungle. So this is really important, because otherwise your jungle item is not as valuable as it could be. So it's always something that you need to focus on, even if the game is going super well or super bad. Jungle and creeps and getting the last hits on them is crucial, because this is going to give you the stacks for your items, and your item is just benefiting from all the snacks that you can get, up to a maximum of 30. When you reach 30 stacks on your jungle item, it's maxed out. So it's just gold and experience that you get, which is still huge. It's that little portion that gets you ahead in the game. If you get a lot of kills, you still want to go into the jungle, farm the monsters there, get some gold, get some experience points, and just get the stacks. So I'm on 19 stacks right now. I saw that there was something going on at the bottom lane, so I'm jumping in here, jumping in here, jumping in here, another triple kill. And as I said, there the enemies are making that really, really easy. So out of 15 kills, our score is already 12. We haven't been killed yet. We haven't scored any assist yet because we were just doing it on ourselves, getting all the kills that we needed for this particular video, and we're already starting to finish the late game items here, which is it was such a relief. To be honest with you, I had a hard time to make Butterfly work, and I think this was a gift. These enemies were a gift, and I don't know what happened, if internet connection was bad, if they were having a bad day, but I took it. It was there, and I took it, and it just means that I can now produce one of the craziest videos out there. I need to double check what these players were all about. Maybe they were rookies, not being that experienced in the game. I mean, I think I've got more than 3,000 games right now, so you should think that I know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But in this case, I just had the feeling that we're playing against not so much experienced players, and of course what you need to do is then dominate the game and then really push it, like really push. You need to push the towers, you need to get the objectives, you really need to focus on winning the game, because I had games where we had a great lead and then it just boils down to one single team fight that doesn't go so well, and the enemy team gets back straight into the game without any hesitation, because of course they want to win. So you really need to pay attention to that and not be lazy. You need to focus on the outcome of the game, because the game is won when you see the victory screen. This is just a truth that's going to dictate your game in all sorts of ways. So Immortal, 16 kills already, and we're doing some crit damage right now. Shadow kill, I don't even know what that means. I was like, okay, this does exist in the game. So I pulled myself out here because I was already focused by the tower. And of course the game aim right now was to end this game with 0 deaths. If you're on a 16-0, it's easy to just die once, but I was just forcing myself to not be that player, to not be super greedy, always pay attention, always be a little bit on the safer side of the plays. And yeah, that's what I wanted to do. But as you can see, the enemy jungler is completely under-leveled. I'm 3 levels ahead, and it just shows. It shows how much damage we are able to do, and I wouldn't even say that now you can see, at this stage of the game, you can't see Butterfly's perfect power, because we're just so fed. If we would not be the player to carry the game, you would carry the game with basically every single character, if not for support, of course, but even the supports would be quite strong with 17 kills in, with the enemy team sporting 19, so they've got half of the kills that I combined on myself, and the game is not over. So here is another kill. We're trying to follow up on Valheim. Omega gets the kill. I was already preparing for getting that kill, but I'm fine with 18. My goal was to get more than 20 or more without dying. So this was the stuff that I was aiming for, and it's 10 minutes played. I was thinking about trimming that video down as well, so to just get you the highlights, but because we got so many kills in such little time, I just thought this is not really of any use. So we're just going to watch the full video, because it's just 12 minutes, so it's not that long. Going in here, getting Natalia. Now I need to back off. Could have used my first ability here to speed buff ourselves a little bit up, and now this is just basically finishing the game. Blade of Eternity has been finished. I do get armor here. Now I need to be careful to not be shot by Telenas, and that's what I did. Got Xanis, and this is game. So super fast, super smooth, and even if the enemies would not have been so poor in terms of the choices, how they positioned themselves, I still think it's a good showcase on how you need to push the game in order to carry it. You just need to push it, push it, push it, push it, push it. 1/3 of the overall damage, 21 kills. I think I've got, of course, the best fight participation. I was always there when I needed to, and 12,000 gold, that's actually something. And yeah, this was the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think it was time to be one of these games, because you haven't seen that in quite a while on my channel. I didn't pull it off lately, so hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice evening. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a pleasant evening. Bye bye.